he said was, he said the ceiling which was pegged. Now, he was talking about the 100 million naira per annum for medical treatment of course, an ex-governor. And he said the ceiling which was pegged at 100 million naira per annum for former governors and 50 million naira per annum for former deputy governors was never meant to be given to either in part or in whole to anybody at any time for any reason. It was meant to be paid to health institutions involved in the treatment of the former governor or former deputy governors and their spouses. It was therefore deliberate falsehood and organized misinformation to claim that the said money will be paid to former governors or deputy governors every year. So basically what he is trying to say is that, well, the 100 million naira provided for medical treatment now for the governors, former governors now and their spouses, as well as deputy governors and their spouses, 100 of course for former governors and 100 million for former governors and 50 million for of course the former deputy governor, that the money was actually not meant to be given to these individuals, that the money was supposed to be paid to health institutions where these governors former governors I should say would have been treated. Now, he did not end there. He said, truth has been under siege, and today I have decided that we should leave this evil siege by proposing to the House of Assembly that the parts of the amendments putting a 100 million naira ceiling and a 50 million naira ceiling on the medical treatment of former governors and former deputy governors. So basically saying he's proposing to the House to amend that section and that the cap will be removed. So in other words, what the governor was actually trying to say was that now there's no cap at all. The law will just simply say provide for medical treatment for the former governors. And in that case, what the governor is arguing is that, the amount could go to 100 million, 200 million. It just doesn't mean, because there's no cap on it. Now, Akwa Ibom State generating so much controversy, its pension law, we decided to take a look at some other states just to find out if Akwa Ibom is actually the worst culprit when it comes to the provision of pensions now for former governors and their deputies. Let's take a look at another state, Kwara State. Let's take a look. What exactly does it... Now, the law was actually reviewed in 2010 by then Governor Bukola Saraki, who, of course, is a senator now. He's in the Senate and, of course, drawing salary. Now, what does it provide? It provides for pension, life pension, or its equivalent now. No? Pension for life equivalent to the incumbent salary. So whatever the current governor is earning is what the former governor, Governor Bukola Saraki, would be earning as his pension every month. And then it says the governor is entitled to a total of 5 cars. Sorry, it should be 5 cars altogether, to be replaceable every 3 years. So among these 5 cars, you have utility vehicles and the others. Then he's also entitled to a well-furnished 5-bedroom duplex. He should get a furniture allowance, 300% of his salary every 2 years. He should have 5 domestic staff. These 5 domestic staff now should be pensionable. Then he should have 8 policemen, 3 SSS operatives, one of which must be a female. For governor, of course, there's free medicals for governor, deputy governor, and their families. Now there's no cap. It just says free medicals. Now, how much will this be? We do not know. And he gets a 30-day annual vacation abroad with a 30-day Esther code. So if the governor was traveling, former Governor Bukola Saraki, for instance, if he was to travel abroad, he's entitled to get a 30-day vacation with 30-day Esther codes. Remember, he's a senator. He also gets a car maintenance allowance, which is will be 30% of his salary. Utilities, 20% of his salary. Entertainment, 10% of salary. House maintenance, of course, that same house that the state government will provide for him, the state government will have to maintain it, 10% of his salary. And who are the current beneficiaries? Of course, we have Senators Saraki and Lafiaji. Both of them are drawing. They are actually enjoying that pension as we speak. Now, of course, there's been some kind of reaction. Rex Olawoye, who is the PDP spokesman in Kwara State, here's his reaction. He said, a careful calculation of what Mr. Saraki has received both in cash and kind from the sweat of the poor people of Kwara State has revealed a pension benefit that has run into over 3 billion naira in the last 3 years, in addition to millions of naira he draws monthly as a senator representing the same state. Now, we decided to take a look at one other state. That's a state where we are, Lagos State. And you wouldn't believe it. I would say we found it to be probably the most controversial, or probably the worst, because as a matter of fact, the provisions, I would say the provisions are even far higher than what is contained in that of Akwa Ibom State. Now, should Governor Babatunde Fashola, of course, as we know, he'll be leaving office in 2015. So when he leaves office, what is he supposed to get? Remember, you have former Governor Bola Tinubu, so it means he's enjoying all of this. Now, this is what if Governor Babachunde Fashola leaves office today, this is what he'll be getting: 100% annual basic salary now of incumbent salary for life. So whatever the current governor is earning is what he would be getting, which is 100%. He's going to get that for life. The governor gets 6 new cars every 3 years. I mean, at that rate, you would say, well, the governor may soon become a car dealer, because if you get 6 cars every 3 years, do the calculation yourself. Over the course of say 12 years, he would have a lot of cars to sell. Then the deputy governor gets 5 cars every 3 years, and a house. The governor now, this is for the governor. The governor gets a house in Lagos and one in Abuja. And what does the deputy governor get? The deputy governor gets 1 house in Lagos only. Now, the governor and of course the deputy governor and their family are entitled to free medical health care, and their family free medical health care now for life. There's no cap, there's no provision. It could be 10 million, it could be 5 million, it could be 100 million, 200, no cap at all. Now, there's also provision for cook, steward, gardener, and other domestic staff. All of them pensionable for the governor. And furniture allowance, he gets 300% of annual basic salary every 2 years. House maintenance is 10% of annual basic salary. The governor's security, well, the governor is entitled, the former governor now, he is entitled to 2 SSS operatives, or 1, of course, a female officer, and then 8 policemen. Now, imagine how many policemen we have in this country. Now, you have these former governors getting 8 of them. 8. Just to protect them. Then you can imagine how many policemen would have left to protect the citizens. The deputy governor now gets, for security now, 1 SSS operative and 2 policemen. Now, the governor gets for PA, 25% of annual basic salary, car maintenance across those 6 cars, 30% of annual basic salary, entertainment, 10% of annual basic salary, utility, 20% of annual basic salary, and the drivers who will be driving those 6 cars must be pensionable, and there's no limit to the number. And then you have severance benefits. Well, we don't know, but the governor, if Babachunde Fashola leaves office next year, of course he'll be entitled to a severance benefit. And you know, as I said, former Governor Bola Tinubu is he's getting this pension. When Babachunde Fashola leaves office, he'd be entitled to all of that. And well, we do not know if the people of Lagos State were actually consulted, if there was a public hearing for the people of Lagos State to make their own contribution. But we just felt it was necessary to bring all of this to you, so that you know what your former governors are getting, and so that you know what the current governors will be getting when they leave office.
A call to service appears to have become a call to better one's life and that of their immediate families. This is the situation Nigerian citizens have found themselves in the hands of their rulers. This perhaps justifies the reason why politics appears to be seen as a dirty game in our present-day Nigeria. In the quest for power, people go to any length to attain the mandate, either through stealing of another person's mandate or killing and destroying lives for their own selfish ambition. All 20 states have pension laws for ex-governors. According to the Debt Management Office, as of June 2019, 26 states who have existing laws for their former governors owe about 4 trillion naira, which comprises of over 2.9 trillion naira in domestic debts and a little over 1 trillion naira in foreign debts. For years, a large chunk of state resources have been expended on former governors and their deputies, despite the fact that states cannot keep up with the said entitlements of governors. Some states generate little or no revenue and have not been able to implement the meager 30,000 naira minimum wage, which is not sufficient to buy a bag of rice. The benefits that accrue to retired governors vary from state to state. This some consider as misplaced priority when citizens who have worked for over 30 years cannot get their retirement benefits or entitlements.
Is it the way the government will say thank you for the years of service that we have put into this government? We are the people that developed this state. Is this how to say thank you?
The states with pension laws for governors are Lagos, Kwara, which are both presently seeking to repeal their own laws, Rivers, Delta, Akwa Ibom, Imo, Osun, Bayelsa, Kano, Kogi, Oyo, Bauchi, Nasarawa, Borno, Edo, Gombe, Abia, Katsina, Enugu, Ebonyi, Niger, Jigawa, Sokoto, Anambra, and Yobe states. The first state to have the pension law for governors is Lagos, and it came to be during the administration of Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu. It will be recalled that the governor of Zamfara State, Bello Matawale, repealed the law in the state in 2019. Part 1 of annual basic salary. Former governors get 100% of annual basic salary of the incumbent governor. Former deputy governors, 100% of annual basic salary of the incumbent deputy governor, to be reviewed every 5 years or when there is a salary review of the political office holders by the Revenue Mobilization Allocation and Fiscal Commission in line with Section 210, subsection 3 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999. Part 2. Staff to be maintained by Kwara State for former governors and deputies. 1 administrative officer, 1 personal secretary, personal staff, 2 officers not below the rank of chief administrative officer, 2 personal secretary not below grade level 10 who shall be selected by the former governor and paid by the Kwara State government, 1 protocol officer, domestic staff, 1 cook, 1 steward, gardener, and 2 other domestic staff who shall all be pensionable. Part 3. Transport, medical care, accommodation and furniture provided by Kwara State for former governors. 2 cars for the governor and in addition 1 pilot car to be replaced every 3 years. 1 car for the deputy governor and in addition 1 pilot car to be replaced every 3 years. Accommodation. A well-furnished 5-bedroom duplex for the governor. A well-furnished 4-bedroom duplex for the deputy governor. Free medical treatment for the governor and or deputy governor and members of their immediate family. Furniture allowance payable every 4 years. Most of these serving and retired governors and their deputies fail to discharge their duties and their campaign promises. No good road, potable water, electricity, employment, nothing to show for their terms in office. No legacy whatsoever for the people to remember them and the administration for. In their self-interest and as compensation for their unmeritorious service, they still sustain their lifestyles on government funds and state resources after they leave office. It is worrisome and laughable at the same time that the cost of governance is higher in Nigeria than the United States. Monies are spent and embezzled on frivolities, and until Nigeria sets our priorities right and come to terms with the current realities of dwindling oil prices, revenues and inflation, there might not be a way out of these underdevelopment.
You listen to that? Very good. This is why you see election in Nigeria. I doubt if we ever have free and fair election in Nigeria. That's number 1. Secondly, that's why this is the reason why people will not stop fighting for this position to get into that office. People will not stop fighting. If it's possible or if he warrant them to take somebody's life to get in there, they are going to do it. These are the reasons, because of this benefit. That position you are saying, it comes with a lot of benefits, isn't it? This is it. Nobody is saying they don't deserve benefits, right? But it's too much. It's too much. So we have a lot of things to do with money rather than giving one person this money, this benefit. What did you do for for being the governor of a state, which gives you opportunity to even steal money, steal the state money, right? Now, after you leave office, to compensate you for stealing our money, right? They are not paying you all this. So why would somebody not fight to get into that office, to get that position? Why would they not fight? Because of this benefit is too much. You only work, do your job, even if just 4 years. Some people do 1 term governor, 4 years, they still entitled to all this. They do 8 years governor, they entitled to this, right? Somebody just for 8 years, you now amount to this benefit, right? They will be paying you this for life. We have people who actually deserve this money. People who worked their life, who worked 35 years of their life, 35 years, 40 years before retirement, before they retired. Salary, they don't even pay them. They don't pay them pension fee. They don't pay them. Come out 50,000 money that is not up to 50,000, 100,000. They will not even get it. They will not even get it at when due the time they're supposed to get it. No, these are the reasons. It comes with this benefit. It's too much. That's why they are fighting day by day, and this fight will not end. When you see all this now, you see no, it's too much. It's too much, and people are dying. People are crying. Who become a governor? You don't make your money. They pay you. Go home and rest. You don't need all this. Yes, some governor don't take anything. Some governor don't take. Some governor they say no. Maybe they are taking one out of everything they listed. Maybe they look at the one that is more important. They say, okay, they will be taking that one. Let's use the rest to support all this. Why some governor will say no. If they pull law now, say let's stop this benefit, they are not good to. No, nobody. Once you are retired, you are retired. Once you leave office, you leave office. Like Peter Obi will say, you don't need all this. You leave office, you leave office. Go and continue your business, right? You don't need all this. If they pull law now, say they should stop it. You see, fight. Let them raise motion now for that National Assembly to say we want to stop this. Oh, even who is going to even do that? You see, they will fight. At the end of the day, that bill will not be successful because they will kick against it. They will not even agree. That's the reason. But if we can all this, reduce all the, you see that a time will come, people will not even be interested to go into that because nothing. It just there's nothing again, nothing they will get. But for now, as it is, no. Anyways, I know some people will say it's old video. Yeah, it's old video, but you need to know it's old video. This is what they are still collecting now. That's why I'm showing you. This is what they are still collecting, right? It has not changed. Rather, it has increased, isn't it? That is it. Anyway, please share this video.